Hello, everyone, and welcome in this workshop to talk about water fasting and the secrets of water. Before we start, I really would like to thank Molly and Adventuring Within for her invitation to share more about this element that keeps us alive and plays such a vital role in our health, and to talk about her incredible journey with eczema and how to heal the gut and the gut flora, and of course to share more about my journey and what I do. I am Violetta, a certified water fasting, detox, and wellness coach. And this is a very passionate topic for me, since the life itself led me to the path of self healing back in 2015 with different healing modalities that I introduced to myself because a lot of things had manifested in my body. I had cysts on my breast, tinnitus in my ears, is this ringing, buzzing, loud sound in your ears. It was making it really hard to communicate with people. And a few other things that I had on my body. My immune system was really down. I was getting sick very often. But water fasting came into my life in September 19 when I started fasting by myself and revealed a clearer conversation about how water can heal the body and how it changes mood, energy, and mental stability. I also experienced that connecting water and the moon cycles bring the energy of the moon into the journeys. One can balance the whole system. And from there, my water fasting retreats and my online program Good Birth. And here we are today to talk about it. So let me share my screen and start recording. 1 second, I'll do this now. There you go. And 1 second to press the button. I'm sorry for the delay. Share. Yes. So here we are. Oops. Oh, wrong. We're here. Okay. Adventure Within and water fasting, how this practice will shape your health. Before we start and move on, I would like to share that all information presented in this presentation is for informational purposes only. This presentation and its contents are not intended to be a substitute or replacement of any medical treatment. Today's adventure, we're going to dive into how the system gets blocked from toxins, explore emotional and spiritual detoxification, water science and the secrets of water, detox practices, supplements, water types, parasites, heavy metals, and how we can actually cleanse the body from them, chronic inflammation and hormone imbalances, how we actually can reverse these conditions. We're going to dive into the 3-day water fasting journey itself. Why over the peaks of the moons, how to enter and exit the fast. This is also very, very important. Somatic modalities that we're using to support body and mind over the fasting days, and some questions at the end. Who I am, I just introduced myself, but here I really would like to share something through my own experience and my journey and fasting with so many people and holding space for them, is that the lack of discipline on embarking on journey of self-healing comes from the lack of knowledge. Okay, it's nobody's fault that people are getting sick. The problem is people are not aware of the truth. They don't really know how the body works, how the elements of the earth, water and fire and air all are our allies to keep our bodies healthy, right? We are mirroring each other with earth. And so here we are today to reveal this information so people understand more and prevent conditions and illnesses and diseases and keep their bodies healthy, right? So water fasting and ancient spiritual practice. And why is that, right? It's a healing modality. Throughout history, humans found physical relief, emotional healing, and even spiritual renewal in water. Like many other spiritual practices, such as meditation and yoga, and breath work to release emotions, get back to in touch and in tune with our bodies, right? To release the stresses of daily lives, which have recently rediscovered by the West, exist for 1,000 years to help bring our bodies, minds, and emotions back to balance. And the same exists for water fasting. I would say that water fasting is the umbrella as a healing modality, because to do a successful water fast, you need to incorporate many different healing modalities on your fasting journey in order to support your physical body and emotional body, in order to successfully cleanse on both and in both bodies. And that's why I describe it as like the umbrella. It holds so many different healing modalities together. And it's a holistic approach to wellness, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So water fasting, let's move this a little bit up. Water fasting method is one of the most effective ways of healing, cleansing, and rejuvenating the body. It helps to heal many diseases and reverse many conditions. It brings balance back into the body, and balance means 7 pH homeostasis and above, and we're going to be talking about this later. The person completely abstains from food and consumes only water, but not any water, and we're going to dive into that later in this workshop. Usually for 1 to 3 days, which is the usually length of time for a safe fast. Others may fast for 12 hours. Others might extend it to a week or even longer fasting periods. But the prevailing time in the program I run and the safest way to do it, safest period, is a 3-day window. And then once one experiences a journey of fasting and reconnecting and rebuilding the communication with the body again, and especially releasing these emotions and understanding and giving space to them, it becomes a way of life. Not to fast every day or every week, but kind of like the concept of that holistic approach into wellness, like that holistic way of living and taking care of everything. And then water fasting also has been described as a transcendental experience. And why is that? Because it really lifts the veil between us and our heart. We come closer to our hearts and our purpose. It removes the fogginess from our brain, and we can see clearer. Why it doesn't move? Okay. Why practicing water fasting now? It's for purifying, restoring, and resetting the body back to balance, healing conditions and diseases, balancing the metabolism, weight reduction, build the communication with our bodies, understand symptoms and what they mean, boosting immune system and lymphatic pathways, increasing the alkalinity of the body. And then we have deep emotional release, strengthening willpower, fosters gratitude and humility, calming the mind and improving decision-making, attaining a state of inner balance and harmony, heightening spiritual awareness. It is proven that water fasting can treat chronic conditions such as asthma, arthritis, high blood pressure, autoimmune diseases, and allergies, and many other, of course. And then we have, of course, water is life. And why it is life. Like sometimes people are talking about some headlines, and then we don't really know exactly the details of these headlines. Okay, everybody knows what is life, what is life. But let's put it into that perspective with this sentence. We breathe water in the womb of our moms, right? We live in a bubble of hydrogen in the womb as babies. And then once we're born, we breathe air, a form of hydrogen, which is the original form of water, right? So we breathe water in the womb. We breathe water every day. The water and air will keep us alive. And these are the two elements of the earth that keep us alive. And then our body, earth, is grounding us. And of course, everybody knows it's like not a hidden information. We are 70% water. This body, if you compress it, all our organs, the skin and everything, it comes to 70% water on a volumetrically level. But on a molecular level, we are 99.9% water molecules, everything that you see. And water uses extend far beyond simple hydration, as it's essential to every single function of the human body. and plays a vital role in cells and immune function, but also release of emotions. We're not drinking water just to hydrate us. Water uses is beyond just hydration. And then because of that reason, your relationship with water will determine your health and how you live your life. And why is this? Because what are the root causes of all chronic diseases? Toxicities. And water is very much associated with healing the toxicities in our bodies. The root cause of any disease is an acidic body. We're going to explain what alkaline body and acidic body means and what it means to be in balance. And of course, there isn't such a thing as a cancer, viruses, parasites that are attacking the body. We're creating the right acidic environment in our bodies for them to flourish. So what happens, the body becomes a host for them. And what happens, they get fed out of our acidic body. And so how actually the body then becomes acidic? So many different ways. Number one, stress. And I know you've heard this many times, but stress is the number one cause for our energetic body to get blocked, our energetic meridians not flowing, prana is not flowing, and then slowly things manifesting in the body. We're going to talk about also stress, how it impacts free radicals in the body later in this workshop. Then we have dead bottled water, tap water, chemicals, and everything that is in the water, processed unhealthy food, and pesticides on the food, even on the organic food, environmental toxicity, medication, heavy metals, toxic skin products. The largest skin or the largest organ of your body is your skin. Imagine what you're putting on your skin. So you can see it's a holistic thing. Like we've been targeted by chemicals and toxins from every angle and corner, right? Like we eating them, we breathing them, we're breathing in our bodies. But let's go into details of them. And another thing I want to share here is that sometimes we say, oh, all these like different ways of being exposed to chemicals and toxins, but let's pin down a few things so we remind to ourselves and see how we expose ourselves to this. We are over consuming chemicals through the produce we eat and the water we drink. We are chronically nutrient deficient. Our soil is deficient. We are deficient in minerals, right? It's a domino effect we're going to speak about later. We're exposed to 200,000 heavy metals every day. Our water supply is full of petrochemicals, pharmaceutical, halogens, heavy metals, pesticides, and other toxins, having drunk tap water or drink bottled water in plastic. We're on a maintenance meds and pharmaceuticals now more than ever before that are stripping out the body even further from vital nutrients. We are having our glands and other body parts removed while being told we didn't need them anyway. We are overusing antibiotics for every cold and sinus infection growing up, wiping out healthy microbiome, creating superbugs and stressing our immune system more and more, never addressing the root of the system, of the symptoms, excuse me. We're giving synthetic hormones to fix our problems like birth control, when they only increase stress and strain on and daily stress the liver. We are hooked on legal drugs like sugar and food additives, when low fat, low salt, did Atkins, and many other diets, keto, binge eating, and having an eating disorder. And then get Botox, fillers, and breast implants, work on a demanding job that you hate, never seen the sun, and lacking meaningful relationship, lacking boundaries and purpose or enjoyment in life. This didn't happen overnight. This is created by us and by people that are exposing all these things to us, right? And then we have been taught, sorry, I'm just going to move this image up there. We've been taught that the body attacks itself. This is not true. We are taught that the body is always a hostile environment with the trillions of microbes all around us and in us. We are taught that there are good bacteria and bad bacteria. We're taught that disease can happen to us due to some static genetics and that we're all sitting ducks. That we are some of isolated systems and parts. And of course, the only way out of this predicament is to stay dosed up on the prized products of the medical establishment. However, the truth is much different than the model we all have been taught since childhood. The way out of this destructive paradigm is to leave it for good and to really understand how the body functions and how it is designed to live in harmony with the environment. Okay? And all dusty paradigm goes away and we move on to a new one, a self-healing that we approaching our lives in a more holistic way. So water fasting, a holistic approach into wellness. When it's done properly, it's not just cleansing journey, it's a deep transformative experience in all levels. We have the physical cleanse, we have emotional cleanse, and we have spiritual cleanse. In my journeys, I describe this as 20% of the work will be happening on the physical body. And we have different protocols that we'll be using and in order to help and support the physical body. Then we have 80% of the work will be focused on the emotional, energetic body. And I will explain why. And then we have the spiritual cleanse. It declutters your vision and it is initiating that feeling of rebirthing, right? Fasting has been practicing to reevaluate, to rediscover, to strengthen intuition, come closer to the heart, uncover conditioning, and find our purpose. Here on the physical and emotional cleanse, you can see how we've been supporting our bodies. You see on the first column all the supplements and things we'll be using and practices, and on the middle column you can see meditation, detox, yoga, breathwork, sound healing, journaling. All these things are things we're using during the fasting journeys, right? We're not just sitting in the couch, drinking water and waiting for the time to pass. No, that's not the right way to fast. And that's how easily you can damage your bodies as well. So let's just move on how all this is happening in the physical body, right? When our toxin bucket is full, our bodies no longer choose health and vitality. It is now only choosing survival. When this happens, all of our other systems start being compromised. It's a domino effect in the body. It starts from the digestion and gut. And I'm pretty sure you know and you have heard many times, your gut is the key to true health. There is an axis that connects the gut, the heart, and the mind. A clear, healthy gut will give you very clear thoughts. But if the gut is not working well, if the gut flora is affected, then we have a domino effect. And we are prone to parasites and other pathogens, and we have leaky gut. And that as a result, the pathogens stealing out nutrients, we have hormone and thyroid problems. And then another domino effect, the liver and kidney get so blocked down with chemicals. And then we have this blood sugar gets dysregulated. Adrenals are called into action, and we have a looping call constantly. Is like hamster chasing our tails. No matter how many diets we do, nothing ever works because there are imbalances that are creating this domino effect in our bodies. So what we be doing is targeting the root, the gut, cleansing the bodies, bringing back to the homeostasis, 7 pH balance, and then we can experience diets and healing. And then of course, as you can see, the last domino that falls down is the mitochondria. The cells are affected, the heart and the brain. The cells is the birth form of our creation. If the cell is not clean, healthy cell in the body, we have diseases. And then here I'm going to explain what it means alkaline body and what it means acidic body, healthy and healthy body. There is a measure, the pH scale, or where the pH stands for the power of hydrogen in the body. And we just talked about the hydrogen. We breathe hydrogen in the womb. We breathe hydrogen every day. We have the power of hydrogen in our bodies. And this is measured in this pH scale, where you can see on 7 is neutral, pH homeostasis. This is where the body is in balance. And then in an alkaline body, from 7 pH and above, there is no way any pathogenic viruses, parasites, and so on to survive because they have nowhere to get fed on. Where you see 7 to 0 is in a healthy acidic body on the pH scale. So the power of hydrogen is very little. The body has become acidic. And when the body becomes acidic, it's the perfect host for viruses, cancer, pathogens, and so on. So imagine that when somebody has, let's say, cancer or a very serious disease, they are mainly between 2 and 3 of acidic body in that scale. And then when you have eczema or bloated, constipation, just simple symptoms, you're below 7 balance. You're at 5, 6. So what we're trying to do, and how people, human beings, have been created from source, is to be on neutral, to be on 7 pH homeostasis balance. So it operates at its optimal level. And then let's move on to symptoms that we have actually normalized them and causing so many issues and how it works. Initial signs of body tissue acidity includes simple as headaches and fatigue, eczema, psoriasis, and acne, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, PMS, having increased dental decay, feeling nauseous, suffering from loss of libido, and so many little simple symptoms that people do not pay attention to. The body holds a mirror to where we are energetically stuck, stagnant, and contracted through symptoms and disease. So when you're not paying attention to these symptoms and you're actually suppressing the symptoms with paracetamol for the headache, or not paying attention to your bloating, or thinking that you have a lactose intolerance, when actually this is a gut issue, your gut is not healthy. You need to restore your gut back to normal, to 7 pH homeostasis. Not your gut, your whole overall being, because the gut is not on 7 pH. It's always more acidic. But what I'm saying is, like, to keep it healthy, right? Everything starts from there. And if you don't cleanse, how everything else is getting compromised. So we have normalized simple symptoms like that. And in this point, I really want to point out that symptoms exist and is signals of communication to tell us that there is some imbalances in our physical bodies. And then we have emotions that are signals to communicate with that there's some imbalances in our energetic bodies, right? We're going to move on to emotions later, but I just wanted to open this parenthesis here so we can start connecting slowly how everything is interconnected, this physical body and the energetic body. So we have the symptoms to tell us that something is up in our bodies, the imbalances. So we're not paying attention to these simple symptoms, and they become chronic. We let them exist for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. So that builds up a chronic inflammation in the body. So when we have chronic inflammation in the body, we have signs of long-term body acidity, which are far serious and includes osteoporosis, weak immune system, chronic digestive problems, arthritis, kidney diseases and gut, heart and circulation problems, fungal and bacterial infections, cancer. Again, this didn't create it by accident. We have created this environment. We're not giving the right environment to our bodies to flourish, to operate in a balance. And then here, I just want to give an example. I'm using the gut eczema example because Molly, an adventuring within Queen, suffered from some gut imbalances and eczema recently. That's how we got connected, and we are on a journey of self-healing. And I want to just share a few words about it. So it's a combination of environmental, such as allergens, hormones, foods, irritants, microbes, and emotional factors. Okay. From physiological point of view, eczema is correlated to poorly functioning gut. A healthy gut serves as a barrier to prevent undigested food, particles, and toxins to enter the bloodstream. But when an intestinal wall is damaged, it allows bad substances to leak into the body and show up as inflammation on the skin. In herbal medicine, it's believed that the skin is a messaging system for the rest of the body. So when something is wrong, your body sends signals via your skin to let you know. And then from spiritual point of view, eczema comes to people who are afraid of being hurt and do the best to please others. They lack the courage of being themselves, and their behavior is dictated by what others say. So this causes a sense of self-rejection because they don't accept their own attitude. It's like not accepting your own skin and it's bursting. And we're going to talk later about how the energetic body and emotions and suppression can actually manifest in different organs in the body. Then 5 indicators that your body is craving of a cleanse, is screaming, please, please, please give me a break. Food cravings. Many people suffering from food cravings. A healthy body, 7 pH homeostasis and above, would ever crave anything than healthy, would never crave any glucose or any fructose or any gluten, anything that is not there from the mama earth, right? A fruit or a vegetable. So when you find yourself craving anything, what you're really craving for is nourishment, because the body is out of balance, or you have parasites. That everybody has parasites. People in the cities have different type of parasites than people that live in Central America or in places that the water is not filtered and they shower themselves or be surrounded by contaminated water, like Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, all these countries. So when you get cravings for low vibrational foods such as bread, pasta, dairy, sugar, or alcohol, you are being hijacked by these microorganisms. Parasites are more active over the full moons, and they each have their own appetites. As you can see here, we have I only just included 4 different types of parasites. There are many different. So you see some of them crave sugar, some of them crave fat, some other carbs, and some other fiber. And so how it works, the parasites, when it's hungry, it sends signals, because normally it sits in the gut and maybe some here. They send signals in your brain as a thought pattern that now I want an ice cream. Please feed me. That's what actually it says. So it's not you craving any of these foods. It's the parasites that telling you, I want food now. Can you please feed me? Because this food keeps a loop of and sustain an acidic body in the system. And what happens, all these parasites and viruses and pathogens, they get fed by the acidic body. So when they're asking for food, they communicate with you and you go and you reach out for all these things that you start like binge eating. And of course, like I said below, they each have their own method for asking for their favorite meal, using variations of techniques to trick you, and that could be thoughts, emotions, and obsessions. Some parasites sit here in your heart and they're playing a game with your emotions. We're going to talk about this later. And here I have a link. It's a documentary about parasites. It's so much, it holds so much value and so much information. I recommend to everyone to watch it and see more. Of course, there are different protocols to cleanse your body from parasites. We're going to talk about that later and how we do it in a water fast. Bloating and gas is another indicator for your body asking for a cleanse. Brain fog, yeast infection, candida, and fungi, trouble sleeping, fatigue, and exhaustion. Please click pause here while you're watching this recording to read the rest of the text. It's important about these 5 indicators. I'm just going to move on now in order to be on time with this workshop. And then the most important empowering step, taking the power back into our hands. Anyone can heal, and we start by cleansing our bodies, changing our lifestyle, our habits, our diets, meaning anything we consume with our bodies and minds. And we start making changes one by one. The physical body and the holistic approach that we have, an acidic body builds up toxins, free radicals, heavy metals, and parasites. Those 4 are the main root cause of many diseases and conditions in the body, because the body becomes acidic, they start getting fed by you, and then diseases, conditions start creating because the body has started being compromised. So toxins, we're going to talk about this more in details, but all these things have been stored in neurons, tissues, and vital organs. stealing nutrients and blocking up the system. So let's dive now into the toxins and metabolic waste and what that is. Right, the last 200 years have been totally catalyst for our health. If you make a comparison between 300,000 years of humankind existence, this physical body that we inhabit to experience life on planet Earth, in comparison to 200 years, 300,000 years, and 200 years, this is a blink of an eye. So the cells have not, and the DNA have not yet been able to adapt to this new velocity of food and toxins that we are putting onto our bodies constantly every day. And of course, the emotional eating that we experiencing the last probably 100 years, people overeating to suppress emotions, to suppress what they're feeling. And so what happens? The cells and the system does not have the time to excrete. We are loading our bodies so much with everything that the cell has not yet been adapted, doesn't know how to excrete all these things that we're putting on, because they only know how to do it in one single way. And so as a result of these toxins and metabolic waste build up faster than being eliminated, disrupting the cell's capacity to do their job, and the initial stages of many chronic diseases begin. Common signs of chronic inflammation. So once the body is so blocked up with toxins between neurons, vital organs, and everywhere, it gets clogged up. So that creates an inflammation in the body. And as long as the inflammation stays in the body, it becomes chronic. What I was saying earlier, like 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Of course, inflammation will not send you any signals of you're dying or you're super sick, but you're going to send you simple signals as headache, bloating, IBS, PMS, all these things. So we don't pay attention, and then we have body's discomfort, muscle pain, sleep disorders like insomnia, sleep apnea, persistent fatigue, weight gain or unexplained weight loss, skin rashes like psoriasis and frequent infection, viruses, abdominal pain, acid reflux, and other digestive system issues. Mood disorders, including depression and anxiety. All these are from the system being blocked up and having a chronic inflammation. Of course, there is an element that really helps us to detoxify on a daily basis, and this is water. And where do we find water? And this is water and minerals. And where do we find minerals? In the water. So the lack of minerals have caused so much damage to our bodies that the cells do not have the right tools and allies to excrete toxins on a daily basis. So we have two issues here. One, we are loading ourselves with so much food anyway and toxins. And second, we're not providing our bodies with the right minerals and substances to help the body to detoxify on a daily basis. So the lack of minerals, magnesium, potassium, sodium, causing that blocked up. And this is something that we're using in our fasting journeys to cleanse and help the body, not only on the fasting, but we'll continue post-fasting. Then we have the free radicals. What is the free radical? The root cause of any disease. And I'm going to explain very quickly what it is, because I see I'm a little bit behind of time. Free radicals. The cell, we all know we are made up of cells in the body, health and unhealthy cells. But in the inside of the cell is a rounded thing like this. Inside the cell, there are a lot of different atoms. Okay, so if we think about it, the bare form of our creation is not actually a cell. It's inside the cell, all these atoms. And so these atoms, they come in pairs of electrons. As you can see in this slide, as you look at the screen on your left, you have a stable, healthy atom that it comes in pairs of electrons, right? And then because of all these factors that we explain, environmental toxicity, stress, unhealthy food, medication, toxic skin products, and the list goes on, that we are exposed on a daily basis, these electrons leave from the atom, as you can see on the right of the screen, and an unstable, unhealthy atom that becomes free radical. So when the atom is unstable, it's trying to steal electrons from the nearby atom inside the cell. And so a movement starts creating, like fighting with each other to steal electrons. So this movement inside the cell, it's called oxidative stress. So those free radicals that are missing electrons, fighting with others to steal electrons, causing oxidative stress in the body. The more oxidative stress you have in the body, the more acidic your body becomes and prone to diseases. And then we have a scale that we can measure what we drink and eat as an agent. Anything that we put in our bodies, it can have and a positive on negative oxidative potassium reduction. So when in the scale, as you can see here, is on the positive, it means that this agent, the bottled water, the tap water, the soda, these are agents, are positively charged. And the moment you put them in your body, they mean making the atoms losing electrons. And then we have the agents like green tea, vitamin C, cod liver oil, canyon water, that are negative agents, which means the moment you put them in your body, they are donating extra electrons to your free radicals, right? And that's how we balancing the body. So these agents that are on the negative side of the scale, they're called antioxidants. That's why everybody is saying eat a lot of antioxidants, because antioxidants, fruits and vegetables rich in antioxidants, help the body restoring the free radicals. And it's such an important element of keeping our body's health. And not many people talking about these things. And it's not even a rocket science, right? It's just here, any information to simply understand how the body works to keep in this balance of 7 pH homeostasis and above. So those antioxidants trigger the natural antioxidants, the agents that are antioxidants trigger the natural antioxidants of the body, donating extra electrons, and we stabilize the atoms again. So the more we stabilize the atoms and we have paired of electrons, the less the oxidative stress in the body, more balance, more alkalinity in the body. And then I would like here to open a parenthesis and say, of course, many of you have heard walk barefoot on air to balance your body and your energetic field again. But not many people understand what actually happens in the body. There is a constant exchange of ions constantly between us and the elements of the earth, and between the elements of the earth, between air and water, fire and earth and us. So when we are positively charged in our energetic field and our stress, and you walk on barefoot on earth, the earth is balancing out and is withdrawing the excessity that you have. And so what happens, that electricity, we're getting electrified when we are touching a plug, right? It comes from these electrons that are attached around the atom in the body. This is where the electricity comes from in our bodies. We don't see it, but it's there, exists. We are energy. We exchange ions constantly. And of course, the most 4 harmful chemicals that are causing oxidative stress is refined sugar. Please pay attention to these things. Seed oils, sunflower oil, canola oil, all these oils that restaurants are using, causing oxidative stress in the body. Fluoride, toothpaste, and in water. They have put fluoride in the water. Heavy metals and vaccines are the most harmful chemicals that are causing oxidative stress, causing for these electrons to leave from the from the atoms, causing free radicals in the body. It's very important for all of us to understand how we create these environments in our bodies and take the right actions. And then, of course, heavy metals, another element that we attack with water fasting. Heavy metals, most dangerous heavy metals are mercury, lead, chromium, cadmium, arsenic. And of course, heavy metals also found in ceramics, lip products, whitening, toothpaste, eyeliner, nail color, foundations, sunscreens, eyeshadows, blush, concealer, moisturizers, eye drops. Please pause your video here. So for those who are watching the recording, and have a read on the left side of this presentation, because I just need to move on with this workshop. But ladies, stop using cosmetics that you don't know what they have in there. Johnson's & Johnson's, brands like that, please, for the sake of your health, stay away. And start introducing organic products, or make your own products yourself at home. Your skin will look much more radiant than actually putting all these things. Help your body, detoxify your body, and everything will become more radiant. Acne is going to go away, psoriasis is going to go away, eczema is going to go away. We're targeting everything from the root, right? And then heavy metal causing kidney dysfunction, nervous system disorders, skin conditions, vascular damage, immune system dysfunction, birth defects, and cancer. All these heavy metals we surround in ourselves. Even the fillings in our teeth having mercury, it's heavy metal. And then, of course, there are different protocols that we're using to remove heavy metals. The most well-known is zeolite. I prefer TRS Advanced. I've tried, I used it. I use it every day. You can have a look on the links and how to get yours from my Instagram account. I have all the links there. What the zeolite does, it bonds together with the heavy metals in the body. And then when we're having a cleansing journey and on a daily basis, we get this out of our bodies. Of course, there are different other protocols as well. Medical Medium has an amazing smoothie. There are some binders as well, but my preference on a daily basis, because it's easy, I can take it with me in my bag, is TRS Advanced. It comes in a liquid, spray under your tongue 5 times, and this is it. It does its job. And then we move on to cleansing on a cellular level. So by paying attention to toxins, parasites, heavy metals, and everything that exists, and free radicals, of course, in our bodies, and we need them to get in balance. Some of them excrete them to completely, and some other, like free radicals, to bring the atoms back into balance. We are cleansing on a cellular level with the water fasting, and that's the reason why it is so powerful and so healing. I'm going to talk about later how often and the dangers around water fasting. But for now, what I want to focus on is the processes that the body goes through when we actually water fasting. It's ketosis and fat burning. So the system switches from burning glucose into ketosis. When we're born, and for as long as we get breastfeeded, we are on ketosis. We are not on glucose. So the body, in the beginning of our life, is on ketosis. It's a very healthy way of burning fat as well. There is no right and wrong. There is no right or wrong burning glucose and right or wrong burning ketosis. But for the moment we stop breastfeeding, we are for the rest of our lives on burning glucose. And it's very healthy to alternate throughout our lives between glucose and ketosis. That's why some keto diets are effective, because they give to the body that switch between glucose and ketosis. And so the body can have the chance to repair. Okay, so on water fast, 3-day water fast, we hit ketosis and fat burning. We hit an incredible process called autophagy, and I'm going to talk in details about what that is. We hit growth hormone, and it increases, it slows the aging, insulin level normalization, and immune cell regeneration. So let's move on to what autophagy is, which is I thought I had a slide about autophagy. I'm just going to explain where it is here. So what happens with autophagy, on the 24th hour of fasting, we're switching from glucose to ketosis, right? And so what happens is it all depends of your lifestyle, right? If you have a really bad healthy lifestyle, that is not going to happen on the 24-hour. It's going to be prolonged. The switch of fat burning is going to switch maybe later, a bit later than 24 hours. But if your life, your health, your dietary lifestyle is healthy, then on the 24-hour, when the digestion starts, then we start moving from glucose to ketosis. And then there is a process called autophagy. What happens is the body scans the whole system and all the cells of the body and identify the zombie ones, the ones that holding the memory of the condition or the disease, because everything is being stored in a cellular level. All the conditions and diseases are stored in a cellular level around the cell, in the outer part of the cell. And so what happens is it scans the system, identifies that cells that are unhealthy, and eats them for energy. And this process starts on the 24-hour and it lasts until the 72nd hour, with having their peak on the 48th hour. So in that window of second day fasting and third, you have this amazing process of rejuvenation. Your system eats all the bad cells, they're not good and bad, the unhealthy ones, for energy. And then the stem cells said, oh, we are running low in cells, let's go and produce new cells. So the stem cell comes and attacks on the healthy cell that is being left behind in the body, and it creates a new one. So those 2 days, we have this regeneration of cells that actually they're not getting the memory, because the stem cell comes here, generates a new cell, but it's come from a healthy one. So there is no memory of condition or a disease. This cell is healthy, but if the stem cell comes in an unhealthy cell that holds all this condition, and outer cell is gathered with toxins and heavy metals, then the stem cell is recreating another cell that is unhealthy. So the autophagy on those 2 days creates this healthy environment in the body, that rejuvenation, that immune cell regeneration. Okay, it comes from the Greek ancient word autophagia. And here, let's see the 3-day water fasting length. 4 to 8 hours, blood sugar falls, all food has left the stomach, insulin is no longer produced. On the 12th hour, we have some other systems getting stopped or to sleep, like the digestive system goes to sleep, body begins to heal, the healing process, glucogen is released to balance blood sugars. 16th hour in, body is wrapping up for switching fuel from glucose to ketosis. And on the 24th hour, this is where digestion is at, autophagy begins, ketones are released into the bloodstream. Autophagy 300% increased by the 36th hour, and by the 48th hour, autophagy increases another 30%. Immune system reset and regenerates, increased reduction in inflammatory response, drains glycogen stores between 48 to 72 hours. And then 72nd hour, when our fast is over, autophagy maxes out and plateaus. All immune cells have been used for energy. Stem cells have started creating new, with no memory or old condition and disease. So in the physical support on a water fast, there are certain protocols. We're not, like I said, sitting on a couch and drinking water, right? We have to know how to enter and prepare ourselves to enter and obtain from food for 3 days. How to exit the fast as well is very important, the foods that we're introducing ourselves. Alkaline water, and I'm going to explain later in the slide about alkaline water, the differences and the different types of water, traces minerals, electrolyte, digestive enzymes, castor oil, liver detox juices, and anti-inflammatory recipes, detox practices such as enemas, tongue scrubber, dry body bath, detox essential oils. We have a lot of lymphatic massage, water therapy, temazcals, ice baths, and sauna. It is advisable to drink 2 to 3 liters of water a day while fasting and to join a container online program or a retreat where the right guidance will be given before, during, and after the fast. The post-fast phase is especially important. This is because you may be at risk of dehydration symptom in which the body undergoes rapid changes in fluid and electrolyte levels. So we always break the fast with liver detox, vegetable juices. This is my way. It's very strict, but it's very effective. So we don't have any unexpected symptoms and we go back into normal eating again very smoothly for the body. We avoid glucose and fructose for almost 5 days post-fast. Your body is like a baby. We treat it like a baby. We're not like start eating wherever we find in front of us. And joining a program or a retreat also allows not to feel alone in this process. We have the full support of the facilitator and you will be fasting with others at the same time, creating a family for a week and for longer. Most of my participants, we are in touch constantly. And then we move on to energetic body and how fasting actually helps our energetic bodies and promotes the emotional cleanse. So the same way toxins build up in our physical bodies, emotional toxins build up in our energetic bodies. The body we don't see but actually exist. And so when these emotions have been chronically suppressed, the prana is not flowing, they become emotional stresses in the body. Our psyche has no other way to communicate with us than just manifesting these emotions in different parts of our bodies. So I want you to think that an emotion runs on a spectrum scale, like the pH scale that we just explained earlier about our bodies. Or you can take it envisioning like your chakra scale here. Your heart is the 7 balance here. And here you have the higher vibration emotions, love, happiness, compassion. And from the heart and cut down, where is your gut, where is your belly, your stomach, your intestines, is all the low vibration emotions. Fear, anger, betrayal, all this like we're feeling. So nothing, and when we should always remember, nothing is good or bad. We're here to experience life and to be human. We experiencing all the spectrum, okay? So to have a bad feeling, there is no bad and wrong. To have a low vibration feeling of anger, fear, whatever that is, sadness, is part of the human experience. What we're learning in water fasting is to move in the spectrum of feelings. The spectrum is here with the middle and balance in the center. Our heart is the center, to move and allow these emotions to flow through the body and transmute them, like literally alchemize them with the water and move them from the lower chakras through our hearts up to higher ones. And so emotions are messengers, okay, that lets us know if there is something internally we would like to address. Many people weren't taught how to process or integrate emotions. And so instead we have learned survival and distraction techniques that help us avoid, suppress, or push down our feelings. You're stressed, you're sad, you're reaching out to chocolate, you're reaching out to eat whatever you find in the fridge because you are not taught how to actually sit with these emotions and build with them. So on a water fasting journey, it's because, of course, water is associated with our emotions. We're moving the body waters. Choosing to move the waters of the body, we're choosing to move the emotions through the body, which can prevent the feelings from coming back up when you least expect them. So we learn them to give them a space to be there, to be felt, to be seen, and to recognize that we have these emotions. And instead of suppressing them, to giving them space to flow through the body. So imagine that 3 days water fasting, according to the moons. I'm going to talk about the moons in a minute, how we're using the gravitational moon to our advantage. Your physical body is detoxifying, removing the body fluids through our lymphatic systems. The pathways getting unblocked and everything flows out. And then we have on energetic body, we move, the more we're moving the waters of our bodies, the more these emotions will be moving during the 3-day water fasting. And we have different healing modalities to support this movement of emotions, right? And so let's see now how everything is connected to our physical bodies. So nothing is created randomly in our physical bodies. And let's take a closer look at what form suppressed chronically emotions manifest in our physical bodies. Bear in mind here that if the physical state of the body is not at its optimal levels, 7 pH homeostasis and above, then diseases manifest quicker and more intense. So people with heart disease might have had life experiences that led them to block intimacy or love from their lives. People with cancer often have unresolved connections with the past, unfinished business and emotional issues. People with low back pain might have had persistent financial worries. People with blood disorders frequently have conflicts with their families. So learning and understanding the human energy system is meant to self-healing, to identify the patterns, observe the triggers, and change the programming, which will in turn bring emotional balance and therefore physical too. So that's how everything is interconnected. It's not this physical body that exists and we see and we have eczema or bloating or constipation, IBS, you name it. It's a combination of our energetic bodies, our emotions and mental. Okay, and everything works together. That's why water fasting it's an umbrella of a lot of different healing modalities together. So we embracing all of them, and we're putting ourselves in a journey of cleansing, rebalancing, and coming closer to our bodies. So we communicate with the bodies through symptoms. We see them, we give them space, and also communicating through with our energetic bodies through our emotions. We give them also space to be seen and to be felt. And then here we're gonna also see the connection between our emotions and organs. The liver holds anger, the gallbladder holds resentment, kidney holds fear, and lungs hold sadness. You can pause the recording later so you can read more about this. How everything is manifesting in different organs. It's not a coincidence that the people who hold so much anger in them, they have liver conditions. The liver is just overloaded with toxins. The liver is the organ that helps us to detoxify. So imagine putting and eating toxins and chemicals every day and then hold so much anger. The liver, what is going to do? Like, it's one organ trying every day to help you. It's not working against you. It's working with you. But we need to help our organs. We need to give them the right environment, and it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to give this gift to our bodies. That's why it's our temple. It's the vessel we're using to experience human life on planet Earth, with everything that entails, from our emotions and everything together. So again, emotions, energetic body, cleansing on a cellular level. So did you know that the outer tissue of the cell, we go back to the cells and let's see how by detoxifying and cleansing on a cellular level, we can actually release emotions. So the outer tissue of the cell holds the vibration and the particular frequency of the emotion you have suppressed or trauma. The body stores trauma of our lives on a cellular level. So a frozen residue of energy has not been resolved. This residue remains trapped in the nervous system. It can wreak havoc at any given moment. So what happens is, the outer cell, tissue of the cell holds a lot of vibration, a lot of frequency. So the more toxins and the more suppression, emotional suppression is being held outside the cell, the more the body, one, is not recognizing as its own, autoimmune disease starts. And second, a lot of frequency on a low vibration is being emitted outside your cell towards the world. So by fasting, what we do, we alternate the frequency of the cell on the outer tissue. So the more you fast, this outer tissue and everything that is being held there, all the toxins and metabolic waste, starting wearing off, leaving from the cell. The more you detoxify, this cell becomes clear again with the outer tissue clean. So through alternating the frequency of the cells, we become lighter and lighter as the water fasting practice is deepening. This is how the physical detoxification on a cellular level can help releasing emotional toxins too. They go hand by hand. So by cleansing, at some point you will see like, I'm not really associated with this low vibration emotion of anger anymore. Like I am like more calm. Like what has happened? This all processes happening in the system, on the physical and energetic body while we're fasting, when we're giving a break to our bodies to breathe, to do its job. And then we have three brains, of course. Our brain, the seat of the logic and intellect, that we're clearing out the cells of our brain. Our neurons communicate through water. We're going to talk about this now in the section about water. The gut, 90% of the body's serotonin involved in mood management and emotions is produced in the gut. A healthy gut will always give you healthy thoughts. And then we have the heart. It also has its own brain. It consists of the same amount of neurons that exist in our brains. So when we say that our intuition talk to us, what happened is these neurons in the heart communicated faster than the neurons in your brain and give signals that, oh, this is okay to go, this is not okay to go, this is something good, this is something bad energetically to pursue. So there are more neural pathways running from the heart to the brain than from the head brain to the heart. And now we're going to move of how actually we support the energetic body, the emotional and mental support during water fasting, and why we're doing it during the full moons. So it's well known that the moon affects the Earth's oceans and rivers with its gravitational pull. See how the tides work in the oceans every time we have a new moon or full moon. However, it is less known that in a similar way, the moon affects the water contained in the human body, where 70% water. Humans and animals are affected emotionally and behave like the waves of the ocean, and especially women, that we are associated and connected so much with the element of water. Since everything is amplified during the peak of the moons, we can use the high peak energy of the lunar cycle to our advantage to promote the movement of fluids and toxins out of our bodies and release of emotions. So on the energetic body, emotions, and mental, we're using the energetic gravitational pull of the moon to promote the movement of the fluids in the body. So imagine how deep transformational work is to excrete toxins from the physical body, bring emotions up on the surface, because the energy of the moon is helping us to move these waters. Okay, so during the water fasting journeys, we combine different healing practices to promote, like I said, the movement of these emotions out of the energetic bodies. Meditations and yin yoga, breath work, sound and gong healing journeys. We have water therapy to connect more with the spirit of water, ice baths, sauna, journaling, moon gazing meditations, water prayers, and fire ceremonies. And then we're gonna just move on now to why water is healing and dive a little bit deeper to the secrets of water. Water is the driving force of life. Nearly 90% of our body's molecules are water-based, which means that the quality of the water we consume is critical to our health and well-being. The quality of the water we consume is critical to how this body functions. Water, to be beneficial to our system, it needs to be balanced or coherent. Did you know that the water is supposed to be alive? Unfortunately, most of the water that people are drinking today is actually dead. That in order for your body to detoxify on a daily basis when you go to bed, you need to drink water rich in minerals. that our pineal gland is our #1 way of tapping into our intuition. Did you know that fluoride in our water, in our tap waters, calcify our pineal gland, which in turn is dulling our intuition? They want us to have not an antenna. Our pineal gland is our antenna to the cosmos. And they're making this antenna, this intuition, calcified, dull, numb. And that 75% of population is chronically dehydrated, causing chronic inflammation that leads to disease. So why water is alkaline? Let's start with more basic elements about water. So there is a lot of confusion around this topic, as most people know that it's good for them to drink alkaline water for all the health benefits that it provides, but they don't really know what alkaline water actually consists of. Alkaline water refers to its pH level, and pH stands for the power of hydrogen. What does this mean? Water that is actually alkaline occurs when water passes over rocks like springs and picks up alkaline minerals, alkalis, on its way, which are increasing its alkaline level. Nothing more is done to the water to make it alkaline, besides good old Mother Nature doing her thing. So please, when you buy alkaline water in the supermarket, do not. It's chemically changed. They normally add soda, bicarbonate soda, to raise the pH of the water to make it alkaline. And in the long term, this is not beneficial for the body. Of course, they cannot add any minerals such as magnesium, which is the king of all minerals because it's very expensive. And then we have, of course, the acid and alkalis, the minerals, all the substances that increase the hydrogen ion concentration and decrease the pH when added to pure water. And then we have the alkalis, all the substances that reduce the hydrogen ion concentration and increases the pH when added to pure water. Substances such as minerals, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, so-called electrolytes. And here again, the pH scale that you can see, certain drinks that they are on the alkaline side, Kangen water, green tea, and then we have the acidic drinks, the drinks that hold a lot of oxidative reduction potential, Coca-Cola, wine, soda, blood. And then here, the very strong acidic is how we can clean surfaces. And then here, the very much alkaline is how we can remove pesticides from our organic produce. All these chemicals can be reduced with strong alkaline water. Why? Because all the pesticides are oil-based. All the chemicals they're putting on our food are oil-based. So when you put in a glass water and then you pour olive oil on top, you see that the oil is not getting emulsified, right? So when you're cleaning the tomato under the tap water, the chemical is not going to be removed because the tap water, 7 pH, cannot emulsify the oil. But when you're cleaning your vegetables under 11.5 strong alkaline water, then this strong alkaline water emulsify the oils, the chemicals, and remove them from your produce. And what are the benefits of drinking alkaline water? Of course, the idea that alkaline water is medicinal, curative, and able to bring optimal health is based on acidic agents in the body and the blood that are a cause of disease and need to be neutralized. So minerals, alkalis do the job here. And the accumulated metabolic waste and toxins that need to be excreted, again, minerals, alkalis do the job here. And the power of minerals, of course, alkaline water contains 4 major minerals that contribute to its remarkable health benefits and mostly altogether help detoxify the body on a daily basis: calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Let's move on to something interesting here. This, you can see a water pipe. This is what a tap water pipe that brings water to your house looks like. Tap water is the most underrated cause of disease. loaded with heavy metal, pesticides, fluoride, chlorine, and pharma products. Do not go anywhere near it, please. And then the most dangerous chemical component out of all of them is fluoride. Calcifies the pineal gland, numbing our intuition. We'll talk about it. Causes heart rate problems and affecting hormones. It is associated with Parkinson and dementia. And then we have filtration systems. Of course, the best solution is to get a filtration system for your house to filter all this nastiness out and chemicals out of your water. So you're not loading yourself with these chemicals. But there are different types of filtration systems. Please stay away from a filtration system that is called reverse osmosis. It has been proven and backed up by multiple scientific studies that it takes out the contaminants, but also it takes out all the minerals. So this filtration system, you end up, if you have it in your house, with the water that has 0 minerals. It's a bare form of H2O, hydrogen to oxygen, that really brings no benefits to your body. And of course, this it was one study has been conducted by the World Health Organization, which stated that demineralized water should not be consumed by human beings, as it has adverse effects on them. Of course, there are no minerals in the water. And then bottled water, the biggest scam industry in the world. It is simply tap water, and you see where the tap water is traveling, filtered with reverse osmosis, microplastic, and has lost its vitality. And then I'm going to talk a little bit fast about what Kangen water is. For those who don't know, it's an ionizer. It's the only machine has been has acquired a medical certification from the World Health Association. It's been used as a medical device to reverse conditions. It has 5 different pH levels. Of course, one is for drinking, and like we explained in the beginning of the presentation, this workshop, that the antioxidants that we drinking and eating helping reducing the free radicals in the body. So the Kangen water, what it does, it separates the hydrogen from the oxygen, and we drink molecular hydrogen. This molecular hydrogen is very rich in antioxidants, and so by drinking molecular hydrogen water, Kangen is not alkaline water. Kangen is molecular hydrogen water, and has exactly this benefit to your body. You drinking, you trigger the natural antioxidants of the body and donate extra electrons to the atoms that have become free radicals. So you understand how important it is to drink molecular hydrogen. At the same time, I want to put it into perspective. The highest vibrational fruit is blueberries, the richest in antioxidants. And to put it into perspective, 1 kilo of blueberries, it's equal with 1 glass of Kangen water. So that's how powerful it is to drink molecular hydrogen. If you want to do any researches about Kangen water, please search about molecular hydrogen and alkaline. Alkaline water is simply water rich in minerals. If your tap water has minerals in it, then your Kangen water, because it's attached to your tap, it has minerals in it, it's alkaline. And then we have 11.5 to clean our produce, vegetables and fruits from chemicals and pesticides. Beauty water, 6 pH, our skin and hair are 6 pH, and it gets hydrated through our pores, so it reaches the cell. And then acid water that we can replace all household products, chemical products, cleaning products like kitchen, bathroom floors, and so on, with 2.5 non-toxic acid water. So it's kind of like a machine for holistic health into wellness in your household. Can alkaline water change the alkalinity of the body? No, this is a myth. Okay, alkaline water is simply water rich in minerals. Okay, alkaline is having a pH greater than 7 pH, and alkalinity is the state of being or the degree to which a thing, or the body, is alkaline. pH homeostasis and above. So the stomach always runs between 1.5 to 2.5, which is acidic, and it will never be affected by your alkaline water. And the blood is 7.3, and it will never get affected by the alkaline water. Alkaline water is water rich in minerals. We need these minerals to two reasons. One, to hydrate on a cellular level, That's the reason why we drink water rich in minerals. And second, to detoxify on a daily basis when we go to bed. That's the reason why we have minerals in the water. That's why the earth is producing water for us to use it. It's not just only to drink water. When you're drinking water with no minerals, there is no hydration in your body, because minerals help the water to reach the cells. If the water has no minerals, all you do, you drink water and you're just flushing out through your pee. Nothing else happens in the body. So water and minerals, the kings, the power. And also at the same time, if you are deficient in minerals, there is a domino effect in the system, in the body. Are you deficient in minerals? You're going to be deficient in vitamins. So when you have blood tests and they tell you like, oh, you're deficient in vitamin C, actually what you need to look at, you need to look at how much deficient you are in minerals and target from the root, because the start of the domino is the minerals, it's not the vitamins. So the minerals help you to keep your body in an alkaline state, and then pathogens are not stealing your nutrients, and so you're not having deficiencies in vitamins. It's simple as that. And then you have some slides here to see some alkaline and acidic drinks. So you can pause the recording at some point and read through. And here another slide. I can move this away so you can see it. And then let's move on quickly to hidden consciousness of water. We talk about all these secrets about molecules and alkalis and minerals, but the water has something more. It has consciousness, the same way as we do have consciousness. Contrary to common knowledge, the quality of water isn't just restricted to its mineral, pH levels, and purity that we just talked about. But did you know that the water has a property where it absorbs and responds to both positive and negative energy? Hidden consciousness of water, ultimate receiver and carrier of information. I'm going to explain what that is. One drop can store many terabytes of information. Human emotions can change water. Water has memory on a molecular level. And water is coherent. It has structure. Let's dive in. Water, a receiver and carrier of information. So your brain is 95% water. It is the ultimate receiver and carrier of information. And why is that? Neurons absorb and release water as a way of communication with each other, and they transmit electrical signals through water. Observing nature, we can see that all ecosystems are connected by water. Water acts as an ultimate neurotransmitter between all parts of the natural world. Water is a medium of universal consciousness. Like I said, a single drop of water can store many terabytes of information. A single unit of computer memory or data storage capacity equals to 1,024 gigabytes, where one single drop of water stores many terabytes. Also in the neurons, in the body, when we say we are 70% water, of course, we're not just water, liquid water, the water we're drinking. It takes a different form. It's in a more jelly form. That's why the reason when you cut yourself, there is no water running through the cut. It's jelly. So this jelly formation of water moves information from one neuron to another. If your cell is clean with no toxins and no metabolic waste and is healthy, is communicating information purely and clearly. So you have no brain fog, no Parkinson, no autism, nothing of that. This is all the diseases starting from there. And then human emotions can change water. I wanted to introduce you to Dr. Masao Emoto. For those who don't know, he conducted a lot of experiments with water molecules, proving that intentions, words, thoughts, and emotions directed at the water produce aesthetically pleasing physical molecular formations in the water, while water exposed to fearful human intentions result in disconnected and unpleasant physical molecular formations. What does that mean? So you can see here at the bottom 4 different formations of water molecules. The first is peace, thank you, I will kill you, and after a prayer. So when there is an intention from us towards the water, a word that we say, a thought that we're thinking, it's energy, it's a thought pattern, an energy pattern directed to the water, or an emotion that we're having, and there is a glass of water next to us, the water is picking up that energetic frequency from us, because the water, as we just explained, is the carrier and receiver of information, is picking up the energetic frequency of its surroundings. And so he proved that when you write a piece of paper that says peace, and you have a water next to you, and then you can freeze the water and put it in under the microscope, you can see the water molecules creating beautiful geometrical formations. But when he wrote down a piece of paper that says, I will kill you, there are no beautiful geometrical formations at all. The water became dull, it lost its vitality. And very recently, I participated in a workshop from Vida Austin that she's conducting a lot of experiments about water, and what she's doing, she has a technique where she's having a Petri disc. It's the disc that they're using in labs to observe things under the microscope. So she is filling up this Petri disc with water, and then she writes a piece of paper, a word like ego or trust, and then she moves this Petri disc above this piece of paper with the word written, moves it above, put it in the freezer, takes it out, and then you can see in the freezing water different formations depending on the word that is being written. So water has memory on a molecular level. She wrote the word ego, and then you can see the frozen water had this formation of it looks like a man with a very strong posture and head. So the word ego is not a word that conjures a specific image, but this one of the reasons he used it is, sorry, I'm just reading here what it says. It's as if this idea of a giant self seems to have passed through the ethers into the water's understanding of humans. So what she did, she passed this above the world of ego, and then you can see this big self came as a picture on the frozen water. And then when she wrote the word trust, you can see this little man like surfing on a wave, and how it's just a coincidence that actually trusting the surfboard, right? So this is what it got representing on the ice when you're passing the water excuse me, above words or intentions, feelings, emotions. So I'm going to say this is very fun. Excuse me. So she asked the same woman, Vida Austin, she asked a friend to place a Petri disc with water next to a bedside table at night, and next morning to put it in the freezer and see what the water picked up as information. So she made love with her partner, and as you can see, one Petri disc had a penis that is ejaculating, and another Petri disc that was next to her partner's on top of the partner's bedside table is vagina. So the water is picking up information from its surroundings. It's the receiver and carrier of information. So imagine what is happening in your body when you're not putting in your body the right quality of water. And then what it means to be coherent, right? The water is coherent. What does that mean? It has structure. A lot of people say structure your water, but what actually does it mean? So individual water molecules are linked by these hydrogen bonds, okay, and form what we call clusters. So the water as a formation, these hydrogen molecules come together, they bond, and they create clusters. So the water comes to the alkaline water, rich in minerals, come to 4 to 8 clusters together. Every cluster has a lot of hydrogen molecules bonded together, where dull water, water that stays in plastic bottles, dirty pipes, whatever, it has way, sorry, I said that thing different. So I apologize. 4 to 8 clusters when the water is not healthy and is dull and it has lost its vitality, and then way more clusters together, which is smaller, and it penetrates the organs and reaches the cells, is when the water is restructuring, where it's beautifully creating geometrical formations and it has its vitality, it's alive. So we can restructure our water with crystals. These ancient formations, crystals, they are on Earth for so many years, picking up different frequencies. We have rose quartz for love. We have different other crystals for different other high vibration frequencies. So you can put crystals around your water. You can have a water jug in your kitchen every morning, surrounded by crystals to pick up the vibration of the crystals. And then imagine the water is going to pick up this frequency. It's going to change the molecular structure of the water. It's going to pick up. It's not going to change the molecular structure. It's going to pick up the frequency, that information, and it's going to become vital and alive again. And then you can have water bottles with sacred geometry on them. So the water is picking up that information. And then also what you can do, you can steer your water, vortexing. When the water is moving, like it moves in the rivers, its natural force and form, it has a force, right? So when the water stays stagnant in pipes and dirty containers or plastic, microplastic, where the actual frequency of the plastic or the dirty container is low, it's going to pick up the frequency of that low environment, and then you're going to drink it. Right? So when you vortex in the water becomes alive again. It's always on the move. How the water is supposed to be, on the move, flowing, like we're flowing in life, right? That's what we're learning from water, how to flow our emotions through our bodies, how to flow in life, how to not be stagnant, how to be creative and move around obstacles. And then, of course, ways to improve your water, filtration system, Kangen water, I explained what it is, trace mineral drops, add mineral-rich sea salt, sun guide stones. I love sun guide stones because they mimic the formations of the rocks in the rivers. And so when you have a sun guide stone in your water bottle, it's beautiful because the water gets alive again. It's like, oh, I am in the river around rocks and this and that. So it's very beautiful to have a glass bottle or copper and have sun guide stone inside. Restructure your water. We said what it means, restructuring your water, stir it, put crystals, have some like sounds and blessings in your water, prayers. We just explained the water is picking up information. Imagine if you pray to the water, put your intention of healing, of whatever you want to achieve. You know, you have your water in your altar and have all these prayers that you're gonna, you know, that you're sharing with your altar every morning. That's the reason why it's called holy water in many different traditions. When prayers have been directed towards the water has picked up the energetic frequency of the prayer. Whenever possible, avoid any toxic substances like plastics, chlorine, fluoride, soaps, etc. in water used for healing. Plastic kills the cells of living water, changing the resonance to something very flat and out of harmony. The off-gassing of plastics affect our hormone balance. Fluoride affects brain and sensory functions. Do not carry your water in plastic bottles ever. Glass and copper. And here, just a quick recap of this water fast 3-day journey over the full moons. The journey, in this water fasting journey, we're always practicing different healing modalities to support the energetic body, detoxify on cellular level through excreting toxins from the physical body, alkaline water, cleansing supplements, detox practices, enema, sauna, movement, liver detox protocol, and Ayurvedic recipes, and then release of emotional blockages from the energetic body. Being present, virtual meditations, breathwork, sound healing, journaling, prayers, crystals, and one-to-one coaching with me. And then, of course, we already spoke about it, and the fast. The way we break the fast is extremely important and it should be taken very seriously. This journey has been curated in a way for everyone to have the safest and best transition back into food, minimizing any discomforts such as cravings, acid reflux, bloating, gastritis, vomiting, or diarrhea, but also to help the liver, which has worked extremely hard. I run these journeys every full moon. It's very advisable to get access to the program way in ahead so you can prepare yourself. There is a lot of information. There are 12 chapters to go through, 2 modules, physical body and energetic body, holistic approach into wellness, preparation, somatic modalities, journaling prompts, everything that you need, recipes, everything you need to do your fast. However, I would say that my fasting program is not just only for a fast, it's an educational hub where you can educate yourself for non-toxic living and making the right changes in your life. So we all embrace this journey of self-healing and living a healthier life. Of course, here a quick just list of the benefits of the water fasting. We just already explained many of them during this workshop. Here there are some of my details for those who would like to get in touch with me. It's already 90 minutes workshop and I would like to put a full stop here. So we are within the time frame. For those who are watching right now, thank you so much for being here with me and holding space in this workshop. I want again to thank so much Molly and Adventuring Within for having the opportunity to share this water wisdom in her platform. Please, if you have any questions or anything, get in touch with me. I'm always available in my DMs. Next water fasting journey is full moon October. But of course, if you're watching this as a recording, there is a journey happening every full moon every month. So the next one, we're recording this video today is September. Next full moon October, next full moon November, December, and so on. I also have different retreats, detox retreats around the world. Please keep an eye on my Instagram. I make announcements then. And I would love to see you and hold space for you in this journey and walk together the path of self-healing. I will be very excited to have you. Thank you so much. I hope you find it very informative and all we're gonna strive and take this knowledge and make the right changes and be responsible for our lives. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day and speak soon. I'm gonna stop recording.